Hey guys and girls, I have unfortunate news. I received an email from Play TCG, and what it stated, simply, I'm banned. Banned from all Bandai card games. And permanently. Okay? Now, a lot of yous may be asking why. Why DBS God or why Anthony, however you like to refer to me. Some others, Mr. Hernandez. Well, I'll tell you why. March 28th, if I'm not mistaken on the dates, there was a regional. During that regional, by the 5th round, I was deck checked. Okay? And while being deck checked, it took a while. After I played my opponent and won, we went through the procedure of me putting on the app that I won and he put that he lost. We were just awaiting our deck. And when I noticed that it took a little too long, it was a good maybe 10-15 minutes. That's out of the usual. Deck checks usually take 5 minutes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I went and got up out of my seat to see what was going on. And when I got to the table where the judges were at, I saw my deck being passed around. And when I asked the judge, hey, is everything okay? He says, no, Anthony, unfortunately, it's not. You are being disqualified. You're getting a DQ. So when that happened, of course, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Okay, what's going on? He said, unfortunately, you have some damaged sleeves. If you guys don't know me already, I always double sleeve my decks. I like to run character sleeves from Dragon Ball or other animes. And I use the outer sleeves to protect the inner sleeves. Due to 5 rounds of playing and the previous night of test playing, with brand new sleeves at that point in time, wear and tear occurs, especially when your opponents are shuffling your deck. Some of them shuffle more aggressively, some don't. But at the end of the day, the judge told me you have a few cards that are damaged, the sleeves, but unfortunately, there's one card that you have in particular, which was a 5-drop Bardock, double strike. I ran 1 copy. That sleeve was also damaged. Now, Jonathan is gonna tag in.
Sorry to interrupt you. Who was the judge that brought that up to you?
It was a judge that initially. So, when I got into the event, there was a discrepancy. There were 2 individuals that were part of the judge team. And one guy in particular, I don't know his name, right? I know them by face. I don't know everyone's name that are judges. He was trying to give me a game loss coming in. A round loss, sorry. Not a game loss, a round loss, which is equivalent because it's each round is only 1 game. And he said that he was going to enter me in the event. Now, thanks to Eric and Eon talking with them and letting them know, hey, we were all present. Anthony was having problems with his app because for whatever reason, my Bandai ID number changed. So I registered with my Bandai ID early on, a couple of weeks in advance, because I like to be somewhat prepared. And when I logged into the app, my Bandai ID changed because I did update the app at a later point in the day, closer to the event, literally the night right before, because I was going to put in my deck. And when I did that, I needed to update the app. And then all of a sudden my Bandai ID changed. And Eric and Eon, they reached out to the Discord that they have and told them, hey, you know, we have one of our guys, Anthony Hernandez. He's having problems with the app. But unfortunately, when I got there, because I didn't reach out, I wasn't the person who reached out to them. They asked me, did you reach out? And I said no. So the person initially wanted to give me a game loss. starting in the event. And again, due to Eric and Eon explaining what was going on, it got softened to just me, I believe, getting a warning, or they just left it alone. I don't really know. But anyways, now going back into this point of me getting deck checked. I had 2 apes that were damaged, okay? And damaged as in the cards, the secondary sleeve, because like I said, I double sleeve. I had another random card in my deck that I don't recall, and then I had a 5-drop Bardock. I believe there were about 4 to 5 cards in total that the sleeves were wear and tear. Now, the wear and tear are on the edges. When you shuffle, okay, right now, I'm about to show you. Here's the deck. The leader that I was playing at the time. So, as you guys can see, the sides, when you shuffle repeatedly throughout the tournament or throughout playtesting, over time, your sleeves will start to get split, usually on the sides. And if you're shuffling inwards, depending on how your opponent cuts the deck, they can get split towards the middle, okay? And again, over time, that's going to happen no matter how you play. Even if you're very careful, those sleeves will eventually wear and tear, okay? Now, according to them, they were able to, see how you have the sides? They were able to pick out the Bardock. Now, the caveat is that if, let's say, for example, this is the Bardock, I had about 3 to 4 other cards that were damaged. So we'll use these 3 to 4. When they would shuffle and they would try to select the card, it would be one of these 4. Now, these are not the actual cards. From my recollection, it was 2 apes to 4-drop, which I was running, I believe, 3 copies at the time for that event. And it was another random card, not 100%. I think it could have been like a Chi-Chi or a Goku, like a random 1-drop. And then it was the 5-drop Bardock, with possibly another card. So when they would randomly shuffle my deck and from the sides try to select it, it would be either those cards mentioned or the Bardock. But because the Bardock was a one of, that caused alarm to the judges. Now, not too sure why it would, considering that there were multiple sleeves that were damaged. But for whatever reason, instead of allowing me to sleeve my cards, I had extra sleeves in my deck box. I always do this for every event, just in case, because as you're playtesting or as you're playing more so in the event, cards will potentially get damaged, your sleeves. So because of that, you should always bring spare sleeves, whether you're running over sleeves or you're running regular sleeves and you just have extras. Now, the judge said, unfortunately, you are getting DQ'd. So then I said, well, can I speak to the head judge? Now, the head judge for this event was David Fashbinder. Me and him, we have a checkered history, okay? He doesn't like me. Point blank. We never had a good relationship in the community. My friends, Eric, Eon, and Jonathan, they're more neutral party. To be quite honest, I don't think he likes them either, but it's more neutral. That's all I will say, right? Because I don't know how someone truly feels about another person. I'm not in their head. I only know what I know. And throughout my tenure in Dragon Ball Super, since the beginning, early on, I used to shit talk. I used to create a WWE effect for our card game.
DBS God.
DBS God. There was a point where I did a live stream in the main group, initially back then in like 2017, 2018. And Eon was there. We were at Asia Grill, right? We were at one of our places, our own made-up locals that we have.
It's not around no more. But...
It's not around. It used to be a food spot, and we held tournaments there as well. But at that time, I just won an event, and Eon went off and called me the DBS God. He was the one who started it. which was flattering. And then a lot more people started to kind of join the wave. And I started to call myself that, self-proclaimed, because clearly some people didn't like that name or felt like, oh, well, yeah, you might be good, but you're not the best, so why are you using the God? Which, that's arguable, right? But anyways, from that point forward, when I would do my live streams in the group, I started to get a lot of heat, you know? And there was a lot of attention to the card game. Because when there's drama, and drama in the sense that it's a competitive amount of drama, it does invoke attention. People are going to be like, damn.
Either positive or negative.
Yeah.
People are going to like you, people are going to hate you. So.
But regardless, it's entertainment, right? Because now you guys are looking at me as this tyrant, so to speak.
The Mayweather, they want to see you fall.
Yeah, you know, the Floyd Mayweather of the game. And, you know, you want to see me lose. But I really don't know how to lose, right? You guys seen me firsthand win several events back to back to back, right? I've done that. Not many players could do that, right? So when we see what's going on with the community, there's a lot of attention, and a lot of people's channels would grow when they were talking about me, the DBS God, including my own channel at the time, All About You. Clearly, you guys are watching it right now. This channel used to have close to 8,000 subscribers at the time. I lost a good amount because I went on a hiatus, which you guys can check previous videos for why. But anyways, the point is that me and David Fashbinder, we don't have a good history. And because of that, he, to be quite frank, had it out for me, okay? And it's not just him. Currently, we have a full-fledged judge staff that's under his authority or command, however you want to phrase it.
It's basically the president they follow.
There's a good amount of people in the judge staff that doesn't like me either, okay? And I know some of them personally. So with that being said, in that event, when I decided to speak immediately to David Fashbinder,
Yes.
he came up and he looked good. And when I say look good, as in, he didn't care. He kind of just went up to me nonchalant. And I was like, hey, why am I getting DQ'd? He's like, well, I can show you. And then he took the deck and then shuffled it a few times. And he's like, you see this card? He shuffled and he was able to pull it out. But not every single time. Okay? Again, the judge staff thing, they were shuffling and they would not always pull out the card because, as I stated before, there were other sleeves damaged. But that was one out of the fewer amount of cards that would be selected. So David Fashbinder told me in front of other players, Amir Coleman was there, Andrew Duvall, and I'm naming names that you guys will recognize, Eon Hill, okay, and other anonymous players because I don't recall their names at the time. This moment threw me off, so I wasn't paying too much attention to my surrounding at that point. Imagine getting DQ'd when you're like, what the hell is going on, okay? I'm always being watched. Judges are always around me. I'm always getting deck checked. That's just what it is. So he told me that due to this, I'm getting the DQ. However, he stated, don't worry, no one will know you're disqualified. And not only this, no further action will be taken. You have other events that you can go to. I believe that you'll do well. Just come back and make sure that your sleeves are good. It was more one of those little pep talks.
So that was the final decision you got from him that day. No further judgment will be placed upon you.
No further judgment. And there are witnesses that were there. The people I named. And you know who you are if you're watching this video and you attended the event. You were there. And I would like you to speak up because this has been going on for several years, right? there's a level of infamy surrounding my title as the DBS God and as Anthony Hernandez or Mr. Hernandez, again, however you want to refer to me. But I was like, it's fine. I'll do better. After every single event or before every single event, I will make sure I have fresh sleeves. Not that I just have fresh sleeves during the time I play test, which was the day before. I will make sure I have fresh sleeves on the day of the event. Now, Jonathan, what would you like to say?
Not to interrupt you. Do you go to another event after this said?
Yes, Jonathan, good question.
Any discrepancies happened during?
No. I went to the following event, playing this leader again, and there was no discrepancy. I got deck checked twice. I had judges passing by as usual, which I find it flattering. I like people watching my games so you can see me beat my opponents fair and square, because that's the whole nature of playing card games. You want to do your best as a player to not make mistakes where it affects the game state and can change the outcome. And guess what? I won. I won in a format of boo and sell with this guy. All right? That's when those decks became the most top tier of the format. And baby won. A lot of people were like, whoa, that's interesting. Glad to see it done. Got a lot of praise for it, which I'm thankful to the community.
Interesting that you brought that up. Did you go to another event after that happened?
Yes, I did, Jonathan. I did go to a few other events after that. And one of them was Gen Con. Day one, I took this. I ended up losing 3 games. So made top 64, but I didn't make top cut. And then the next event, I played Green Vegeta and made 7th place, if I'm not mistaken. Top 8. So after all that's said and done, by repeatedly getting deck checked, more than once in every event, and not only this, but judges watching me. There was even a point with life that I had judges tell me, hey, while you guys may not see it, but I typically put my deck in 4 columns. So 2 piles, 4 on each. And I don't pick out of random. I pick in a line, but usually I have them separate. And the judge, one of the judges came up to me and said, hey, can you just put them over each other just so that we know exactly what the next life you're going to take would be, right? The next card in order. So I said, no problem. I believe I got a warning, if I'm not mistaken. Sure, I got a warning for something as simple as that, but it's fine. Did that, no problem. Everything seemed to be okay. As David Fashbinder said, which I would hope he would have been a man of his word, no other repercussions, no other further action will be taken. All of a sudden, I get this email that's right now on the screen, and you guys can read it for yourself. Very disappointing. Not only this, but the wording that they chose to use in the email, which if you ask me, I believe that whoever wrote the email possibly could be David Fashbinder himself, just on how he wrote it or how it's been written. I don't know for sure, but it can be. And as you can see, it said that I was DQ'd for cheating. Okay? Caught cheating. Caught. Look at the key words. As if I was playing an opponent, they stopped it and said, hey, this card is marked. We need to stop this match. None of that crap happened. Okay? I finished my game, beat my opponent, and we waited for our deck to be checked. And that's when the discrepancy happened. Mind you, after that event, I did exactly what I said. Every single event, the day of the tournament, I'm sleeving my stuff in brand new sleeves. Okay? During the event, right before it started. The point that I'm trying to make is that what was said to me during that day was not honored. And for whatever reason, this person put a post before I received the email or around the same time, because I didn't see the email immediately on the 15th, as you can see, where he made a warning. Wow, the past 6 months, as you can see on the screen, we've been working hard to retool and make sure that players are getting a good gaming experience, all right? We're not talking about Bandai issuing a ban on cards that need to be checked or restrictions. We're talking about getting rid of a player that since that point was still competing, no issues, won an event in between that.
But the 3 other events after that.
And no problems. Not only this, in the email that you can see, they are bringing up 2019 Masters.
Pre-COVID. You're already 6-7 years removed from COVID.
Over 6 years ago. All right?
Going on 7.
Going on 7. And in that tournament, I remember it as clear as day because I was cheated. But I'm used as a catalyst in all of this. My opponent, we went into time. He had, I believe, my same last name. I believe he was a Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel Hernandez. He became a little famous.
He had a couple interviews after that.
Yes. Proud that he was able to get rid of me in that way, right? So, long story short, I'm going out for game. We're in game 3, which I should have 2-0'd him. So, my bad, guys. I fucked up. I won game 1 and game 2 I should have won. But whatever. Game 3. We already got called into time. I swing out with triple strike of Vegeta 4-drop.
At all costs.
At all costs. Took my life, did what I had to do. Swung out. As I'm comboing, I'm halfway through the combo step, comboing my cards. Time. There were other judges present and other players present. So during those events, they had to make intricate rulings. Whatever step you are in, you finish the step once time is called into time. That was the original ruling that was created. But for whatever reason, while I was comboing, they stopped the game and did not allow me to combo any further. They didn't allow me to finish comboing out my hand, stop the match, we went into a draw. Now, through procedures. Now, this is where a turn of events occurred. I made a statement very loud and clear. I should have won. My opponent should not be drawing with me. There should be no draw. This was my game. Clearly, I had game. This was the final attack. It's game. They said no. For you, Anthony, this was over. Since you didn't finish the combo step, we're done. You guys have the same amount of life, whatever. It's a draw. We can't further proceed this. And they were going to wrap it up and go into the next round. Now, I told my opponent, and these words were not an exchange of funds. It's not like I said, hey, I'm giving you money or I'm giving you something. I said, you should give me the win. You should give me the win. I won. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to allow me to finish up the combo step as they were previously in other events that same year. Okay? Other players. Yeah. Now, the only thing I can't verify is I don't know if other players during that same event, 2019 Nationals, were allowed to finish out their combo step. I don't know. I'm unsure. Okay? So because of that, I'm not going to speak on it. But anyways, the point of the matter is I was brought into a back of the room after that round was concluded. And who was there? David Fashbinder. Okay? And as I already said, me and him, we do not have a good history. Him as a player, me as a player. When I would compete at their locals, at his locals, I would win repeatedly. I would go undefeated for weeks unless I didn't play. That's the truth. Including beating him several times in these events.
Yes.
Okay? Now, he told me I have sources of other players saying that you attempt to bribe the person at hand. He said the choice of words used, which were not my words, I said what I would have done to show my gratitude towards that individual for giving me the win when I deserved it. I had game on my opponent, and I expressed that several times in my live feed and even during that conversation. But instead, you chose to use certain points and manipulate my wording and twist it around to make it seem like I offered a bribe, and that I offered prior to the match beginning, prior to the conclusion of our game. Now we're moving back to current times. This was in 2019. Who is keeping judges accountable for their decision making? Who is keeping the head judge accountable? Some people, I made a post a day ago saying this same statement, and people obviously are trolling. Some people are haters. Some people are genuinely wanting to know. And some people said, I think it's us. I think the players keep the head judges accountable, right? If there's many complaints about a head judge, they'll probably get fired or replaced.
I wanted to ask you this. How many years have you been playing card games for?
Since I was 14. No, sorry. Before that. Since I was 7 years old.
And how many times have you had issues with your sleeve? Any discrepancies in tournaments? Ever?
Rarely ever. Rarely. Extremely rare. This was the only time out of all my my career playing card games. Yeah, that's why I said rarely ever, because it happened, and I put quotations because there were several sleeves that were damaged, more than the Bardock, but because that was a one of, what the head judge said is that he cannot give me the benefit of the doubt. He cannot prove that my intent was impure. He cannot prove the intent on the sleeves, even though you can clearly see there were wear and tear. Mind you, the other sleeves weren't brand new either. They just weren't split. And these splits were very small, by the way. It's not like my cards were decapitated or just severely damaged where it's like, hey, why are you playing with those sleeves?
I was going to ask you this. Do you feel like this particular judge has a personal vendetta against you?
Yes.
Given the history,
I personally feel discriminated, okay? And me and him have had a history before, right? If you guys want to see me make a video talking about the specifics, I can.
With dates and everything. He has everything.
Okay? Now, there are witnesses that heard what he said. This man, as you can see right now on the screen, I tried reaching out to him. No answer. Okay? He's been online. He knows that I messaged him. He goes online frequently each and every day. But no answer. If you can see the player TCG email, it's like solemn judgment. There is nothing you can do. There is no appeal. What the heck? No appeal? You guys have been doing an investigation without notifying me? Not only this, I already had my trip ready for this card fest in Texas. And guess what? As you can see in the second email, look at the response. Oh, we're sorry. That's unfortunate. However, if you do come to the venue, you will be asked to leave. And there may be authorities involved, as you guys can read it, right? So this is what I'm getting. While you have judges watching me, players watching me, having multiple deck checks, being streamed. My opponents were making mistakes. As you guys saw the event that I won, my opponent made a very huge mistake, and I was very understanding. I said, don't worry. It's cool, man. I get it. Nerves. Cards just came out. That's when boost started to become a thing. It's okay. But had it been me, I would have lost that game immediately, guaranteed, and probably been disqualified had David Fashbinder been there. Fortunately, he wasn't there, and I was treated fairly by the judge staff. Fairly. They still reviewed they still looked, deck checked, they still watched my games. Some of the judges would even sit down. I don't mind that. You want to sit down right next to me and see me play? Sure. Now you get to have a first-hand experience as to why I'm the DBS God. Okay? Because I rarely lose. I rarely do. Even in test playing. I take test playing serious, don't I, Jonathan?
100%. 100%. You take test playing serious. You take playing everything during the tournament series. You're just 100% laser focused.
So with that being said, anyone who was in the March event, I'm asking you to not only speak up, share your experiences with me as a player, and I am going to make my own attempt to reach out to Bandai. Maybe they see this video, maybe they don't.
I was going to ask you what message you have for Bandai if they're watching this video right now.
Well, Bandai, if you are watching this video, you know that I am a dedicated supporter of Bandai TCGs, whether we're playing Naruto or any other game. Not only this, I've been a supporter of the Dragon Ball Super card game since 2017, its release. And I have been banned before, clearly, as you saw in that email. But I explained to you guys as to why. My words were manipulated, and unfortunately, I had anonymous players say that they heard what was said. I don't know who those players were. They didn't even allow me to talk to my accusers, which means that theoretically, it can just be straight up bullshit.
It could be hearsay, for all we know.
And because David Fashbinder was the head judge, hello, let's do the math. A person who doesn't like me being the head judge, I don't think he's treating someone like myself fairly. And he never responded to my messages to him. How would he? When other people heard him say what he said to me. I wasn't the only person, and I'm glad at least I wasn't the only person. What I should have done was take pictures or videos of my sleeves after that event. But many players saw my sleeves during that event. And they, if you would like to come forward and put in the comment section, hey, this is what we saw, so you can confirm what I'm saying to be true. Other players that were there in that moment when I got disqualified said he should have gotten an opportunity to re-sleeve, and at the very worst, a game loss, not a disqualification. Andrew Duvall stated that. That was his wording on it. Amir Coleman, the person who won the event, the New York King, he, in his last match, was deck checked, had some damaged sleeves. The judges made a statement, and Amir Coleman can vouch for what I'm about to say. He's the one who told me. Had you been Hernandez, you would have been fucked.
Damn, that's wild.
But because he's not me, re-sleeve, you're good. So that's all I'm going to leave it there. Okay, and I'm sorry, Bandai, if you are watching, I used a few cuss words. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Apologize. But the reality of the matter is, this is what has been transpiring. Now, of course, in come the haters. People are going to say, well, we saw on stream, you know, this happened to you in ARG when people were touching your cards. You had additional apes and you kept them on the board, even though not understanding that me and my opponent were both distraught at the time. But of course, it's going to fall on me. If I make a mistake, I'm cheating. That's the whole caviar of things. If Anthony makes a mistake, he's cheating. If anyone else makes a mistake, it's a mistake.
Yes. And the fact that I have to reach all the way back to 2019.
2019, David Fashbinder? Really?
They can't reach for nothing recently.
You can't reach for something in Fusion World?
Because there isn't nothing for them to find. It's just up to their interpretation what they put out there, you know. So I ask you guys, these are the final words that I'm going to have for this video. 1, think about it. You went to not 1, but 3 other events.
Correct.
No history, nothing.
No.
Not even as much as a peep.
No. While being deck checked multiple times and being watched.
It's a big event. GenCon is a big event, right? One of the biggest events of the year.
Of course. Okay? But my question to you guys, everyone watching this video, who keeps judges accountable? If there is a judge that is biased, or a judge staff that is biased, okay? And I'm not saying every person, but there is a handful. If you have people who are judging these events and they are targeting someone, who can intervene to make sure that doesn't happen? That's my question for you. My second question, who can I reach out to besides taking these individuals to court? Who can I reach out to? This is an honest question. There has been no issue since that March event. And mind you, I was deprived of prizing. I wasted my traveling money. And I was DQ'd based off of cards being damaged, the sleeves.
And their main point that they use it is 2019 allegations, not even your actual words. Allegations. Allegations from a whole separate game. Not even. My bad, I didn't mean to curse, for another separate game that didn't have nothing to do with it, you know?
But it's not that I am innocent unto proven guilty. I'm guilty unto proven innocent.
Were you playing Fusion World 2019?
No, it didn't exist. But anyways, guys, sorry I'm not starting this video with like enthusiasm and how I usually have videos. You heard it from me. Currently, they have me placed as banned. It's not on the Bandai website. Don't know if it will be. What would you guys do? Would you guys still go to the Texas Regional if you were me? Because we don't know, even with this email, if it's legitimate, since no one has reached out to me that is officially from the staff. I don't know if this is a fake email address. I'm not 100% sure.
You don't know if it's a prank?
I don't know if it's a prank that's just trying to just fool me and like, gotcha. I'm not sure. So we will take this as a grain of salt. I'm not 100% sure if I'm officially banned. And the way the email is written, it does look very, very cold. It doesn't seem like someone professional. It seems like someone who just wants to shit on me personally without actually using cuss words or anything like that. Because if they cursed at me in the email, then obviously it's fake. They need to keep it somewhat that it can look maybe legitimate. The fact that I don't have an appeal, the fact that I cannot, they don't want to respond. As you saw in the email, they were like, nope, we're not, this is the last time that I am going to message you. Like if this isn't a serious matter, why would you do that? Right? If I was truly going to be banned, why wouldn't I be a part of the investigation?
At that point.
Why was I allowed to attend several other events where everything was crispy clean? Okay? And last but not least,
that's like Bandai, if you're watching this, evaluate his career as a Dragon Ball Super Fusion player. Evaluate the last 6 months. If there was any discrepancies, we'll understand. But if there wasn't, if there's no justifiable fault that he did to ban him permanently, we can't take that response, you know?
And it doesn't make sense that less than a week out, I'm getting an email that's saying, oh, I'm banned permanently. Doesn't make sense, okay? Because obviously flights are going to be booked, hotels are going to be booked, Airbnbs, anything for preparation for the event.
That also sets a precedent for other players to get banned permanently in the future for no reason. There has to be a guideline of a certain thing that you did to get permanently banned. There has to be...
And not allegedly.
It has to be established.
Yeah.
Because that's a serious allegation. You say you can't play the game no more. It has to be in writing that people can see it. People know if it's violated, they know they can't play the game.
And not only in writing, Jonathan, there has to be footage.
Clear.
In other card games, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, you see footage of players cheating. Legitimately cheating,
has to be
drawing several cards,
evidence.
of misusing card effects, hiding card areas, going into their deck, slipping cards. There has to be footage, something that's pure evidence.
It has to be conclusive. Yeah.
Conclusive. But the way they made it is that they have conclusive evidence without displaying it. Without me even being a part of the investigation process.
No pictures, no videos.
No nothing.
Nothing attached to the email.
So... thank you for watching. As always, this channel is all about you. Catch you guys on the next video.